Welcome to the deep dive. We know you want to stay sharp on AI and what it actually means for business, but finding a time to sift through everything, that's tough.
Exactly. So that's what we do. We've gone through this week's AI news. That's April 14th to the 18th, 2025. Articles, blogs, some research papers too.
Right, and the goal is to pull out the important stuff, the practical insights, without getting lost in all the technical jargon, what you actually need to know.
And we're definitely seeing some themes emerge this week. Real movement in how AI is being used and, maybe more importantly, how it could start changing things for professionals like our listeners.
Okay, let's dig in. One thing that caught my eye was how AI is sort of weaving into everyday life. There was this story from South Korea, a father, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. Using generative AI with his son, taking the son's drawings and turning them into little videos, animated stories.
Which sounds cool, but what was interesting was the why. It wasn't just, flashy tech. It was about fostering imagination, but also consciously balancing it with like actual human playtime.
Yes, that deliberate approach. It's AI as a creative tool, not a replacement. And the experts in the piece really stressed the parent's role in guiding that.
And that connects to a bigger picture, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We're seeing this growing focus on AI education. It's big in South Korea, obviously, in schools, even private academies, but also happening in Europe with maybe more emphasis there on the ethics, the critical thinking side.
So the future workforce, they'll just be more AI literate inherently.
That seems to be the direction, yeah. More comfortable, but hopefully also more discerning about it, which, for businesses thinking long term.
It definitely signals opportunities. You immediately think, okay, AI-driven education platforms,
Yeah.
interactive storytelling apps.
For sure. Those sectors, education, entertainment, seem ripe for it. Personalized learning, narratives that adapt, it's moving from concept to potential reality. The question for entrepreneurs is how to leverage that meaningfully.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the business of AI, the money. Safe Superintelligence Inc., SSI. Big news there.
Huge news. Co-founded by Ilya Sutskever, formerly of OpenAI, they just closed a $2 billion funding round.
$2 billion. Wow. And the valuation?
$32 billion. And look at the investors. Green Oaks led, Lightspeed, Andreessen Horowitz, but also strategics like Alphabet, Nvidia, Google.
That's a serious vote of confidence. What does that signal, you think? Beyond just the money.
Well, the name itself, Safe Superintelligence, and the backing from major tech players, it really highlights this growing focus on, well, safe AI development, especially for enterprise tech. As these systems get more powerful, the safety aspect becomes critical, not just ethically, but commercially too.
Interesting. And speaking of OpenAI, there was also that legal development.
Right, the amicus brief. 12 former OpenAI employees siding with Elon Musk in his lawsuit against the company.
What's their core argument?
It seems to boil down to the shift from a nonprofit mission to this capped profit structure. They're arguing it breaks from the original vision, potentially erodes trust, that kind of thing.
That raises some fundamental questions about how these powerful AI companies are structured, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. That tension between the founding ideals and the realities of needing massive capital and commercializing,
Yeah.
it's a central drama in AI right now. Something businesses looking to partner or invest need to consider. What's the underlying ethos?
Okay, and staying with the big players, Meta put out benchmarks for their new model, Llama 4, codename Maverick. How did it stack up?
Well, it's clearly a powerful model, but the results, at least on these specific benchmarks, put it slightly behind competitors like GPT-4, Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro.
Why do these benchmarks matter for businesses?
They offered a standardized comparison. If you're deciding which AI platform to build on or integrate, these performance metrics are, one important piece of the puzzle. Not the whole story, but useful data points for capability on specific tasks.
Got it. And then there's ByteDance, TikTok's parent company. They've got a new AI model too.
Yeah, quite specialized this time. It's called seed thinking, and it's focused specifically on economic reasoning and analysis.
Economic analysis. That sounds niche.
It is, but that's what's interesting. Early tests suggest it's very efficient and actually performing better than human experts in some economic analysis tasks.
Really? So the trend isn't just bigger general models, but also highly specialized ones.
Exactly. It suggests we might see more AI tools designed for very specific business functions, like forecasting, strategic planning, offering potentially deeper insights than general-purpose models in those areas.
Meanwhile, OpenAI hasn't been quiet. They launched new models specifically for developers.
Right, focusing on improving coding performance, getting the AI to follow technical instructions better, lowering costs, handling larger chunks of code, basically making it a much sharper tool for software engineering.
That sounds like it could genuinely speed things up for dev teams.
That's the goal. Making developers more productive, potentially shortening development cycles, handling complexity more easily, a direct impact on workflow.
And they might be doubling down on that area. There's talk of an acquisition.
Yeah, reports suggest OpenAI is in talks to buy Windsurf, used to be called Cadeum. They're an AI code generation company. The price tag being floated is around $3 billion.
$3 billion, wow. That really signals their focus on the software development space.
It certainly seems like a strategic move to deeply integrate code generation and developer assistance into their platform. Could really reshape how software gets built.
Okay, one more on the business side, but looking at the foundations. TSMC, the chip maker, their results were pretty stunning.
Absolutely. Profits up 60% year over year, revenue up over 40%, and they're explicitly linking it to the boom in demand for AI chips.
So that's like a physical measure of the AI surge.
Pretty much. It shows the massive investment happening in the underlying hardware needed to power all this AI, a fundamental indicator of just how big this wave is.
Okay, let's pivot to practical applications. Where is AI actually being used right now? Healthcare seems to be a big area.
Definitely. We saw this system from Swiss researchers, Uliar AI. It diagnoses tuberculosis using lung ultrasound images.
Ultrasound, not x-rays.
Right. And the impressive part, it hit 93% sensitivity and 81% specificity in trials, actually outperforming human experts reading the same scans.
Wow. And is it complex to use?
That's the other key thing. It runs on a smartphone app. Think about the potential impact in areas with limited access to radiologists or specialized equipment.
Yeah, huge potential for underserved areas, democratizing diagnostics almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And still in healthcare, look at skin cancer detection. There's an app called Derm being used in London hospitals.
What are the results there?
Really striking. 99% accuracy in identifying benign, so non-cancerous, skin lesions. And it's already helped spot over 14,000 actual skin cancer cases across more than 20 NHS hospitals.
99%. That's incredible. It's like an assistant for dermatologists.
Essentially, yes. Augmenting their expertise, potentially catching things earlier, improving patient outcomes, a clear example of AI making a difference in clinical practice.
And the applications aren't just medical. I saw something about video games.
Kind of unexpected. Researchers at UC San Diego use the Phoenix Wright games, the lawyer investigation games, to test how well different AI models could act like detectives.
Seriously, how did they do?
Interestingly, OpenAI's model performed best at identifying the key pieces of evidence within the game's narrative.
Okay, that sounds fun, but what's the real-world relevance?
Well, think about tasks that involve sifting through lots of information to find the crucial bits. Legal document review, compliance checks. The underlying capability AI demonstrated there, spotting relevant details in complex data, has clear parallels.
Interesting connection. Okay, what else? Google's doing something with dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphin Gemma. It's an AI system they've developed to analyze and even generate dolphin vocalizations, clicks and whistles.
Generate dolphin sounds. Why?
They're developing underwater communication devices based on it and making the tech available to researchers. The idea is to better understand dolphin communication, which could be huge for marine biology and conservation efforts.
Fascinating. Okay, back to more direct business applications. Ad fraud.
Right, Google reported using AI pretty heavily to fight that. In 2024 alone, they suspended nearly 40 million fraudulent advertiser accounts.
40 million, that's a staggering number.
It is. And they also mentioned a 90% reduction in deepfake ads being served and blocking billions of other problematic ads overall. For businesses, that means AI is helping protect their marketing spend and, their brand reputation online.
Makes sense. Microsoft's Copilot is getting smarter too. Something about controlling the computer.
Yeah, a new feature in Copilot Studio lets it directly interact with the graphical user interface, the GUI. It can apparently navigate applications, click buttons, type text, all autonomously.
So, like robotic process automation, but maybe more flexible?
Kind of. They say it can adapt in real time if the application's interface changes slightly. That could be really powerful for automating those tedious click-heavy tasks across different software. Big potential for efficiency gains.
Okay. And for creators, YouTube's offering AI music generation.
That's right. A free tool in their Creator Music beta. It lets users create copyright-free instrumental tracks just by describing what they want.
Copyright free is the key phrase there.
Absolutely. Could be a real help for businesses or creators needing background music for videos or presentations without navigating complex licensing fees. Makes content creation a bit easier.
And the creative AI tools themselves are getting better overall, right? Kling AI, ByteDance again.
Yeah, rapid development there. Kling AI released Kale 2.0 Master for video and Colors 2.0 for images. They're claiming better prompt following, more realism, lots more image styles, new editing features.
Some more power, more control for creatives.
Exactly. And ByteDance introduced Seaweed, which is a pretty comprehensive video generation system. You can take text, images, or audio as input and create videos up to 20 seconds long. Reports say it's particularly good with human animation and syncing with audio.
20 seconds might not sound like much, but for social media, marketing snippets.
Precisely. These tools are lowering the bar for producing decent quality video content quickly. Big implications for marketing teams.
Microsoft's also working on efficiency, I saw. An AI model that doesn't need fancy hardware.
Yes, a lightweight model designed to run on standard CPUs, the processor in most regular computers, without needing powerful, expensive GPUs or specialized AI chips.
Why is that significant?
It's about accessibility and energy use. It can make sophisticated AI capabilities available to smaller businesses that can't invest in high-end hardware. And it uses less power, which is also increasingly important.
Right. And finally, AI is showing up directly on our phones more.
Seems like it. Perplexity AI, the conversational search engine, is going to be standard software on new Motorola RAIZOR phones. And there are rumors Samsung might integrate it or something similar into future Galaxy devices.
So AI assistance baked right into the phone's core experience.
Potentially, yeah. It could really change how we interact with information and get tasks done on mobile, making AI much more immediate and integrated into daily professional life.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. Wrapping up this week's deep dive, what are the main currents we're seeing?
Well, definitely continued significant investment, but maybe with a growing emphasis on safety and specialization alongside pure capability. So money flowing into safer AI and also into models designed for specific tasks like coding or economic analysis.
Right, and the sheer breadth of applications is striking.
For sure. From, potentially life-saving healthcare tools like TB and cancer detection, to creative aids, to tools boosting developer productivity, to fighting ad fraud. It's touching a lot of different areas now.
And there's that push towards accessibility to lower hardware needs, integration into mobile devices.
Exactly. Making AI less of a niche technology and more of a foundational layer, almost.
So for the professionals listening, what are the key takeaways? What should they be thinking about?
I think, firstly, just the need to stay aware of the tools emerging in your specific field. AI isn't one monolithic thing. Different tools solve different problems. Secondly, recognize the potential here for real efficiency gains and innovation within your own operations.
And thirdly,
Start thinking strategically. Don't just jump on the bandwagon, but consider where AI could genuinely solve a problem or create an opportunity for your business. It's about thoughtful adoption, not just adoption for its own sake.
Yeah.
We saw that cautionary blog post about needing clear objectives, good data, and the right partners.
that's a great point. It's not magic, it requires strategy.
Right. Balance the excitement with practicality.
So a final thought to leave people with. As you hear about all these developments, maybe ask yourself, how might these specific AI advancements, the better coding tools, the specialized analysis, the creative generation, how might they concretely change my job or my industry in the next, say, 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, what's one thing you could do maybe to start preparing or experimenting? It's moving fast.
Definitely food for thought. And to keep up with all this and to get links to the articles we talked about today.
You should subscribe to the RAIZOR Report newsletter. Just head over to razor.co, that's razr.a.ec. It's the best way to stay informed.